Now you can see something. Okay, we gotta blow our nose. Do we want to plug the phone in to get some power? Oopsie, where's the power cord? Here it is. And here in the side is, oopsie, I'm always making noise. There you go. Yeah, so there's that. There's that. There is that. Oh, you remember my eye the other day? I'll show it tomorrow. It's dark. So what else do you want to talk about? What else do you want to know? Tell me, what is it that you most desire? Yo man, just shut up and finish the video already. I was like, oh my god, you're so mean. You're so mean. How can you be so mean to me? Fuck off. So it's 5:20, 12:25 now. Oops, there's people walking. Some young hot chicks with a doggy. Was that the same girls as for the other day? The nosy ones? I don't know. 2 girls and a dog. What do I know? They wear something different. How would I even... If I don't look at the video footage, I wouldn't remember. I recognize them. They're all just generic females. Classified in perhaps 3 categories. Young, middle, and old. With no other... significant distinguishing attributes attached to them, because it's all meaningless to me. Not because I don't like girls. I do like girls. But obviously I'm not going to be approaching girls at the park on a dark parking lot. It's like, who am I? It's like, I don't know. It's like, see, this is actually interesting, right? Society has, through the media and other ways of people acting, so pounded into young impressionable man's brains to be kind and respectful, which I get. That's nothing wrong with those things, but also that man by default, almost any interaction is the action of a predator, is unsolicited. I mean, how do you talk to someone for the first time, right? It's usually unsolicited. And you're offensive to some degree. I cannot approach a woman that I might be interested in without thinking to myself, if I talk to this young lady, she's gonna feel threatened just by the fact that I'm trying to talk to her. And I find that weird, that we, as a society, where we say, like, oh, we want to be inclusive, you simply cannot even talk to someone, because all of a sudden you are acting like a predator. You're making them feel uncomfortable, right? And you're instantly evil, right? They're not just on guard, because they have been primed like this too, right? The moment a man approaches you as a woman, he's not just a potential threat, he is a threat already, right? Without him doing anything but walking up to you or walking in your direction, by being in the park, right? I'm already a threat while minding my own business. So how are we supposed to connect with people? I think that kind of thinking isolates us way more than ever before, because I cannot, on a social level, connect to people, because the people will see me as a threat first and foremost. and they can only connect with a limited range of people because everyone else is already a threat. We are essentially eliminating or reducing our potential pool of not just mates, but of friends, of normal, genuine connections, to like absolute bare scrap minimum. I mean, back in the days, if you had a village of 500 people, that would be your connections. That what we have now. It's like you're not allowed to connect with people. Well, not as a male. Right? If a woman initiates, everything is okay. If a man initiates, it's always a problem. Oh, because men don't know no. Men don't know. Men don't understand the word no. I'm like, no, I understand the word no. It's the only thing I've ever heard. It's a default setting for my existence is no. Right? Without having ever done anything wrong to warrant it, I'm already being shunned and shamed. You are evil. Oh, you are too old. Oh, you are this, you are that. Oh, you have to be more kind. Honesty, fuck you, honesty. Truth, fuck you, truth either. People don't want honesty or truth. People want their own version of belief. If I believe X and you tell me something different than X, then I am toxic. If you have a problem and I'm holding you accountable, then I am toxic. That's the world we live in now. I've been doing this Uber driving for like 7.5 years, right? I haven't connected to a single person in 7.5 years. More than 45,000 rides. Now, I talk to my customers, and some of them might very well feel threatened when I talk to them. I'm just having conversation, right? I mean, they are entering my space, so I guess they, for the most part, bite the bullet and put up with it. But I've also seen people who, when you greet them too cheery, they very quickly say, I gotta make some phone calls. I hope you don't mind. That is translation for shut up. I don't want to hear you talk. Most of the time, 15-minute ride, they say that. And guess what? They're not making a single phone call. So not only are they using an excuse, but they're liars. They're fake. They can't even say what they mean. Right? If you simply said to me, like, hey, listen, man, I'm not really in the mood for a conversation right now because I'm in my own head. Sorry. Well, you can play the radio if you want. It's like, it's fine. We can sit in silence. I got no problem sitting in silence. But people are not honest. People are lying to you right to your face. I'm gonna make a phone call. So, well, then why don't you make your phone call 15 minutes later? Right? I'm not gonna tell them at the end of the ride. It's like, oh, so you're lying to me. You made no phone calls, not a single one. You said you needed to make multiples. If you just want me to shut up, why don't you just tell me to shut up? Right now, using an excuse, right? And I think that is such fake behavior, right? It's like it's like in order to be kind, you actually need to be a consistent liar, right? That is what kindness is, right? It's different from going on social media and as an anonymous person just being mean to someone, right? Yeah, that is stupid. But when you're interacting with someone, just be honest, be real. I don't need people to be kind to me. Tell it hands to my face. Sometimes it's something like I don't need to see someone walking past me on the street and say, oh, well, you look like some fat bastard. That is very honest. Is it kind? No, not necessarily. But if you weren't really talking about anything else, it's an unnecessary comment. So it's not a question of kind or not kind. It's simply of like, you don't have to comment on everything in life. Just like social media, internet. We don't have to comment on everything, right? But if you're connecting with someone on some other level, let's just say I'm making a video, right? And you're responding to my video. It's like, yeah, that was an interesting line of thought. Here's my ideas on that, right? It's like, well, I'm not sure if whatever you're thinking there is right or good or whatever. That is different from saying, it was like, oh, you're some stupid fuck, right? Completely different, right? There's a different kind. Is you don't need to lie to someone to be kind. And that is what people do. That has become the default setting. Oh my God, you are so beautiful. It's like, no, I'm fucking fat. And if I don't change it, I'm gonna fucking die. Do you think that is beautiful? Hello? You can shove your kindness up your lying fucking ass. I don't need kind. I need people that are real. And unfortunately, 2023, the 21st century, connecting with people is extremely difficult. For a middle-aged white male like me, almost no point. No one wants to hear you complain, right? Oh, well, that's your problem, man. Like, yeah, that is my problem. You're right. That is just the world we live in. You know, kindness and inclusiveness. But kindness and inclusiveness has absolutely no problem to shun and crucify those who they don't want around. I believe that that both full inclusiveness as well as full equality are discriminating. You cannot be equal without discriminating. Because the aspect that you are equalizing is in no relation to the outcome of whatever you're trying to equalize. Inputs, outputs. If you don't put effort in, you shouldn't be getting much success out. If you don't put money in, you should be getting much out. If you don't put time in, you should not be getting much out, right? There is a direct correlation. Of course, as you become a stronger professional in whatever it is that we are talking about, then you also become better at what you do, so you may be able to get away with getting the same or better results with less inputs. But this is simply because you are further down the road. What do I think? Me 20-year-old is equal to my parents 40-year-olds? No, then I'm not. They've put in 20 years. This is work, this is knowledge, this is experience, this is growing. I haven't done that. How can I think I'm equal? I'm not. Right? Even the peers of my same age group. Right? When I was in high school, I had some classmates, it was like 2 or 3 guys, and there were 2 or 3 girls. They were extremely good with almost every subject, really. They were better than me. Guess what? They were better than me. They're smarter than me. When I was in school, I didn't think of them as being smarter. Because, I was a lazy kid, and of course, my mother used the same excuse as every other parent. Like, oh, he's not stupid, he's just lazy. Yeah, no, I'm stupid. Let's face it. I'm not the brightest bulb in the fucking chandelier. And I can recognize that the others were smarter, including girls. You're talking about the 80s, right? Hey, there were girls smarter than me. Guess what? It's natural. There's got to be someone who's smarter than you. Now, back then, I didn't classify them as smarter, just like I didn't classify myself as stupid. I could have. They probably looked at me that way. Now I know. I'm older. I've learned that my actions or inactions have consequences. And, some of the issues that I'm facing today, I may not have been facing back then, not in the same way. But some of them, they were there back then already. Already back then, I was a procrastinator. My grandmother used to call me phlegmatic. Look it up in the dictionary. Phlegmatic. It's if you want, it's lazy, procrastination, ADHD would fall into it, executive function disorder. It's all these things have existed back then. They exist now. Maybe back then I was just one of the weak ones who was falling through the cracks. But I'm still a weak one falling through the cracks. No one's gonna give me any kind of benefit. I'm still a loser. I still have no accomplishments in my life. Nothing to show for. The worst of it all, no family, no friends. I had one real relationship in my life. I fucked that one up royally. No children. When you think about it, there is no future. None whatsoever. What future am I having to look forward to? Oh, well, you can still do so many wonderful things. They're meaningless. A life without people is meaningless. Right? You can go for low drama, which is the fewer people you have in your life, the less drama you have in your life. Or you can go for no drama. This is when you have nobody in your life. But it also turns out, in order to have life, you need people. Because we are, after all, herd animals. Even so, I live a solitary lifestyle. I'm living a solitary lifestyle in the big city. Between New York City, 8.5 million people, and Long Island, 8.5 million people, I have access to 17 million people. That is 17 million people who don't know that I exist. And that's 17 million people who want to have nothing to do with me. Right? That is my life. Right? I've been here in New York for 28 years. Do you know how many friends I have? None. One relationship to speak of. What kind of life do I have? I was always known I was never good enough for anything. Right? I was never truly accepted. I was always different. I think different from other people. I am not as, emotional as other people. I'm not as sensitive as other people. I'm not well spoken like other people. I often say the wrong things. I know that when I'm happy, I start rubbing people the wrong way. People don't like me being happy because language I use, or maybe I'm going overboard. I don't let go. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe I become clingy on things, right? I don't move on, right? It's like, yeah, but that was 15 minutes. So can you just move on and have fun with the new thing? I was like, what is a new thing? I don't know. Right? My perception of social interactions is so bad as it's almost non-existent, right? And this is why I cannot connect with people. This is why nobody can connect with me. If someone is interested, there's always I always kind of like say this as a joking thing. Actually, it's funny when I say I always say this, because I've been saying this for a long time, but I've never said it in public or to anyone directly, really. If a girl actually likes me for whatever stupid reason she might have, she'd literally have to beat me over the head for me to understand that she likes me. I no longer know if someone has any kind of interest in me. To me, the default setting is that no one has an interest in me. And no matter how much you think you're expressing your interest with those passive-aggressive versions of, shown interest, they go right past me. They're totally meaningless. I don't understand them. I don't see them. I don't interpret them as such. If anything, I might interpret them as someone just trying to be friendly. Right? It goes back to the beginning of the rant. I cannot approach people. I cannot make the first move. I depend, and it's kind of always been like this, I depend on the woman to make the first move. What woman's gonna do that? I'm old, I'm fat, I'm lazy, I don't have any money, mentally ill. What do I have to offer to a woman? Seriously, what do I have to offer? What do I have to give to someone who wants a life? Not saying that this is the actual reason, but I'm pretty sure that my ex-wife saw a certain degree of financial stability in me. That was probably her reason for being with me. And I know if she ever sees this video, she will probably be upset that I don't believe that she actually loved me. I mean, I'm sure I don't know, she probably does. But it's like this double whammy combo, right? It's like the one thing needed to be there for the other thing to be there, or whatever, I don't know. And I'm probably not, this statement is probably not nice when I say she probably didn't love me. Right? Why is it not a nice statement? Because perhaps it's not true. But even if it's not, even if she loved me, it's like my perception of it is always that I'm just barely accepted. I don't see people in any widespread or even limited capacity wanting me around. I have never been. As a child, I had one friend at a time. As an adult, I have 0 friends at a time. Yeah, I'm old now. What am I gonna do as an old person? No life. And I know someone is gonna say, well, it's not too late yet, you can still have XYZ, blah blah, and wonderful relationship and friends. You just have to open up a little bit. You realize that that's not me. I'm always closed. I know people judge. Everybody judges. And I know that people don't want me around. That is the judgment that they're making. So that is what life looks like for me. People don't want me around. I know that. I know that very well. Doesn't make life any easier. It's what you call that? No one wants to live in isolation. No one wants to be rejected. You know, being rejected by like family members or so That's hard enough already. But when the rest of society rejects you too, what do you have left? What do you have to go forward with? This is the season. November is Men's Mental Health Month. And men's mental health is largely rejected as non-existent. I mean, rejected as existent. It's considered non-existent. Everyone else has mental health issues. Men don't. Man that has mental health issues is weak. A weak man is worthless. And a worthless man, no one wants around. I find it interesting when I look at other people, like, let's say even world stage, right? You have dictators, you've got mass murderers, you have, I don't know, your closet rapists, pedophiles, you have got drug dealers and thieves and financial crimes people, and you know, you've got all of the scum of the earth, right? And they all have family. They all have friends. So it makes you wonder, how are they so much better than me that they can have those things? Yet it seems that I don't deserve any of it. Right? It's... As a person, I am as inconsistent as my videos are. All over the place, not focusing on anything really. Jumping from one to the other. And I guess if you have no consistency at all, how is anyone supposed to like you? How's anyone supposed to find an interest? The moment someone shows an interest, I will do or say something that will piss them off, that will offend them. Right? I do this frequently, regularly. I guess if they weren't, I would still do it probably. But it's, what is that? A defense mechanism? If I can keep people away from me, they don't understand who I am. But what am I trying to protect? I already know that in the eyes of society, people like me are mostly worthless, right? So what I'm trying to protect, shouldn't I just come to grips with the reality that this is who I am? You know, I drove past some homeless people the other day. They have each other too. At least the ones on the street do. They have each other. Even the homeless and the drug addicts, even they have friends. Even the crack whores have friends. They all have friends. What makes me so special that friends are not part of my life? What makes me so special? Because that's what people say. I was like, oh, well, you're special. Yeah. So what is so special about me that I'm unable to make and or keep friends. I know I probably have some version of ADHD. Most likely executive function disorder. There's probably a good aspect of depression in there. Actually, executive function disorder triggered by depression. It's usually called debilitating depression. That's what most of my days look like, though. Hard time getting out of bed, hard time getting even the basics accomplished. Why am I late for work every day? It's not because I'm lazy. I work 7 days a week. I've always worked, almost always 7 days a week. When I was still in the restaurant industry, I worked 12, 16 hours a day. I never complained. A few years back, I went to a workshop with a friend of mine. Did I just say friend? Yeah, I guess she needed someone too. Desperate. Anyway, so we went to a workshop, flew from New York to Wisconsin, and it was like a hands-on workshop, and I very quickly realized that out of the group, we were split up into teams. I was the least performing worker. I had the worst performance. I'm not a good worker. Partially because I get distracted, but I was more like the entertainer, the clown, as an adult male, acting like the fucking clown. That is also part of normal life for me, which is why I don't talk much. If there's a group of people, I'm not the one talking. I listen, I watch people, I observe people. I think I do understand people a lot in lots of aspects. I just don't understand people when they're reacting to me, right, which is different. Anything that is me related, I cannot do. If I want to go and do something, I want to go get a job, I want to connect with a person, it's all me related. Anything that is me related, I can't do. Like I can do anything if it's not related to me. But the moment I'm the one who's interested in it, the moment I want it, the moment I need it, I can't do it. That's why I'm so useless. You know, that's why I can't accomplish anything. Besides being distracted, not paying attention, not learning, I can't do it. The moment I have to do it for myself in particular, it's like my hands and legs are tied behind my back. Can't move, totally immobile. And it's not gonna get better. It's not gonna get better with age. It's gonna get worse. And that's probably the one reason why I am paying more attention to. I say more. This is the one reason why I try to focus on working, making money, right? I mean, as badly as I am with it, but I'm focusing on it because I need to put myself in a position where I have a couple dollars saved to survive on, because I know I'm not the kind of person who wants to go to the government for help or who wants to go look for charity handouts. I can't do that because first it's for me, and second it's asking for help. I can't ask for help. The moment you ask someone for help, you're also telling them that they have leverage. Their help has conditions. And I don't do well with conditions because I know I'm already inconsistent. I already have a hard time taking care of the things that I need to take care of for myself. Basics, everyday kind of things. So how can I possibly give my word and commit to conditions that someone else wants to put onto me? I can't. I can't keep my word. That's one reason why I don't do a lot of things, really, because I don't make promises. I've never made promises. No guarantees, no promises, because I cannot promise it. Can you promise to be there at that time? No, I can't. Because I cannot guarantee that when the time comes that I even remember. I'll remember when it's too late. I was like, well, then you don't care. I was like, okay, then I don't care, I guess. That's... I need to get going. I need to get rid of the garbage, get a couple of sodas and start work. Once I'm working, I'm fine. Just getting to that moment of getting in the car, filling up with gas, and turning on the app. Once the app's on, I'm fine. Just getting to that moment. Like this speech too. This speech is 100% based on me procrastinating. It's not because I wanted to make it, or because I want to make it. It's also not based on whatever else, really. This is just me procrastinating. I had the camera running, so I'm talking to the camera. So I'm procrastinating to do the things I should be doing. What am I gonna do? Maybe I'll post this video instead of the other video. Whatever.